There we go. Give it a few minutes. I know we're waiting for people to come on and join us for the readings. Hopefully they figure it out. Like you said, two guys this time, so it may not work out as well as it did all the other times.
No.
I don't believe that.
Anyway,
Yeah, I hope not. I hope it's good. We'll see.
It will be.
we'll give it a few minutes. There we go. Okay, one of the guests is already here. Okay, I take that back. Good evening, everyone. We'll give it a few minutes for people to log on because we don't have any great long intro, so we just get right to it. So there we go. Good evening, New Jersey Paranormal. John, this is Chris joining us for the first time in almost a year. We were just talking about this. Judy Hartke. Good evening. How are you?
Great. Thank you for having me on again, John and Chris. It's great to see you guys.
It's always really good to see you.
Judy was just telling us all these wonderful filters that they have for our guests that we don't have on StreamYard.
I think John knew it, just didn't tell you.
I lost 20 years in like 5 minutes. I love it.
Where are they on this end? I'm actually paying for the service and I don't get the darn thing. Anyway, we're going to go back. For those of you who don't know, who never met Judy. Judy, God, how long has it been, Judy, that we've known each other? 2-3 years now?
Couple years at least. Yeah. Oh, about 3 years. I'd say 3. Mm-hmm.
I was doing research again about doing the YouTube stuff and the live stream stuff, and Judy had a really interesting story or talent that she does with the spirit art. And then we actually got to talk to Judy on the phone to find out more about her and her path to where she is now and what she's doing. And it really is kind of fascinating. We were just talking about it again before we went back on again, and I hope you don't mind going through.
You won him over with cow tipping. That was it for him.
I forgot about the cow tipping.
It does involve a cow. Her backstory doesn't, as weird as it is, we'll get to that. But Judy, I'll let you tell about your mom and kind of how you got started in doing what you're doing, but you know, that backstory from when you were a child is very interesting as well. If you don't mind sharing that again.
I hope I'm not boring the people that
not at all.
More than once, but I was born into a family that my mom was very metaphysical, and she would see stuff. She'd tell us to stay away from this person, this garbage guy that was coming along, come once a week because he was not good, and stay away from the energy coming out of the wall sockets and all kinds of things. And my dad was very Catholic and an alcoholic, and he would send her for shock treatments at Gowanda, was a little mental health facility. And so it was very not good. But
I don't remember that part of it.
There's so many parts that I don't really remember what I say and what I don't.
So he thought that she was mentally ill, and
I think she was, I don't know. I was 5 and we don't want to all fall apart, but I think she had some issues, but she was also very metaphysically gifted.
Okay.
And so I ended up in foster care, and in foster care, they're my family. My mom is my mom. Right. But that wasn't the thing. They didn't believe in that stuff. And when I was young, I was hearing voices and, I had stuff coming up, and my mom says, no, you're not. No, you're not. And so I wasn't, I shoved it down for years and years and years. And then I actually went into dairy science because it was grounded and it was not, anything to do with those crazy people. I wanted nothing to do with the craziness. And, I'm doing it for.
And yet here you are.
Here I am. Well, when you're in the cow barn and you're looking at the cows and you're like, oh, that energy is kind of beautiful. Yeah. It was time to make a change, so I did, and here I am.
But going back to the, I hope you don't mind asking about this.
I don't mind.
But you went into foster care, and was that because your mom was institutionalized, or like what happened with your father?
It was not. They were non-functioning. My mom was having trouble, mental health issues, and going back and forth go on to the institution. And my dad was an alcoholic, and he was abusive.
Gotcha.
And so, nobody was going to school, nothing was happening, and they were getting a divorce, and they were bad mouthing each other. And then the school, all that information came up, and the judge, from what I know of, was like, neither one of you is going to get the children, because they were going.
Wow.
So
Do
that's
you,
kind of how it.
you have any kind of relationship with your father at all
I
now?
did.
Or?
My dad, he passed.
Oh,
He
okay.
passed, but I did. It's easier to have a relationship when they're not in their bodies
Mm-hmm.
sometimes.
Gotcha.
And so when somebody's got an alcohol issue, there's always an issue, always stuff. So
Yeah.
it was hard. It's hard. He tried, but it was hard. So
It, and again, the thing we talked about this, Judy, when Judy and I first spoke on the phone, and as we progressed in New Jersey Paranormal and worked with more mediums, and um, I found a common thread between a lot of mediums was trauma, childhood trauma, significant trauma in their early years, usually children or teens around there. There's something like really like earth-shattering,
Like a
traumatic
trigger.
that happens
Mhm.
that affects their lives. And does that attribute to the ability or the gift? I don't know, but it is a weird common thread between all of the. What is your thoughts on that? Do you think there's anything to that?
I absolutely do. And I heard a little saying a few months ago. I love it. It said, along those lines of people that have trauma or, things that they're trying to heal or trying to move past or whatever. It says, if you don't go looking for your soul, you generally won't find it. So
Hmm.
if you're completely content with all areas of your life and you're going to work and you're bringing home the money, whatever, and there's nothing wrong with that, but you generally aren't, a lot of people, I'll say, I don't want to generalize too much, but a lot less people in those circumstances are curious
Right.
unless they have an experience or they're, if they have a difficulty or they have an experience, like a dead person shows up in front of them, which.
Right.
But if you
So,
have trauma, then you're trying to figure things out. So I
Yeah.
agree.
so what was the thing that made you get back into it? Like what was the thing that made you say, you know what? Maybe I do have this ability. I know it was the cow, but
No, you know what it was, because the cow led me to painting.
oh, that's right.
But what happened, you have such a good memory.
Uh, only for the good stuff.
You're one of his favorites.
I love you guys. I had a biogenesis energy work session, which I can't speak highly enough about biogenesis energy work. And I went in there normal. I was a normal human being. And I brought my friends and we were going to have a ball blast, go drink wine afterwards. It was all for fun. I wanted nothing to do with anything too deep or crazy. And in the session, as he's running these little glass tools over me, I'm starting to hear voices and I'm starting to see things. And I saw all this cool stuff and wings and angels and all kinds of things. And then I went home and it was like hundreds of dead people marching past me all night long.
Wow.
And it was face after face after face and all kinds of really weird metaphysical experiences over the next few days. And it just kind of was like an opening.
Where you're going to demonstrate this?
On Halloween.
Really?
Yep, it was on Halloween.
Did you eat some candy that had a little something in it? Maybe. No.
No.
Those
No, I didn't mean to
edibles
cut
are
you off, but I
chocolate.
forgot about
Those
that.
edibles are chocolate.
I knew you'd like the Halloween part.
but we talked about this before. Judy's going to do 2 demonstrations. One's going to be an actual reading where she's going to demonstrate her spirit art. The other is going to be a past life reading, which is again a little bit different. But we talked about this before. Tell me the process. Where's it coming from? Where are you getting it? How do you click
Channel
into
it.
it? Like, what's the
So
how do you see it?
from my process, I purposely didn't study with anybody that did spirit art because I wanted just to, let me back up. I was seeing dead people. And so as an artist, it took me maybe a year or two to figure out that I could do this, draw dead people if I can draw. So I was drawing them and I was in my studio and I was miserable, like trying to figure out how to draw something that only stays for a split second because they come in and they go out. They don't stay standing there in front of you like a model. So I was struggling with it and I was kind of yelling at the universe saying, if you want me to do this, you have to make it a lot easier. And I heard a voice say, put the pencil down. So I just put the pencil down on the paper and just scratched across the paper. And then a face came in, kind of like a
Wow.
Polaroid. I'm like, oh, that's so much easier. That's cool. So that's, and it was a lot of practice because it's like staying in this little tiny little point of I don't know. It's like grabbing a string to the universe, just letting it flow through you. So if you get off track, if you think, the door's open or someone's going to interrupt me or something like that, then you're off.
So there's no image like steady in your brain that you're just
Nope. I just
sketching
go
out.
like this and I try and literally try and get out of the way, and the face comes in. And
Wow.
people can do it. I taught it at Lilydale last summer, and I don't know how many people were there, but most of them got something.
Huh. Let's try
Yeah,
that.
so
I would love to
Mine would
get
always
her
look like a
down
stick
to the
figure.
expo.
I know it would because that's all I could draw. So it would be.
you got to get
There'd
out
be
of the
like
way.
a stick figure with a hat, maybe, and like a.
But you'd be thinking.
Oh.
You never shut
Yeah.
your brain off and let things
No,
happen.
It's
I can't do
thinking.
that. So let's talk. Let's do the first person that we actually know. Here's the thing too, and I always put myself in like position of someone like you. Mediums like the no offense, but mediums are a dime a dozen. I met real mediums. I've met others that seem like they're kind of not so great or whatever. But if I had your abilities, let's say I could do what you do. Have you ever like for yourself? I don't know if you've lost any friends or loved ones or anything. Have you ever done that for yourself just to see like, or you could just openly communicate with them without?
Yeah, I've never done it for myself. My dad came in without me asking him to.
Okay.
And I didn't even recognize him until later. I'm like, oh, I think that's you. Let me look at the pictures, because sometimes it's hard
Right.
until you put a picture next to it. But no, it's funny you asked that question. I was thinking today, why don't I do that for more of my friends? And why don't I just,
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess when your work is your work, if you
Yeah.
clean
Yeah.
toilets for a living and then you come
Yeah.
home, do you want to do it? No.
It's like
Not
saying,
really.
hey, doctor, can you do surgery on yourself, right?
Right. Yeah. Or do you want to
Yeah.
do it after you've done 50 of them during the day, So.
It's just weird to me. Like I would drive myself crazy with that. I literally would. I'd have pick. It'd be like one of those horror movies where there were pictures all over the house, like everywhere of all the people.
He'd be locked up.
Anyway,
Do you want to get him into it, Chris?
oh my God, that'll be it for me.
Might get a break.
All right, let me see who's back here. This might be Alex. Is that Alex? Yeah, that's Alex. There he is.
Wrong way.
Hey,
Alex?
Alex.
So,
Hey, how are you
Hey,
guys
Alex,
doing?
how are you?
Good, how are
Judy,
you?
Alex, Judy.
Judy,
Now,
nice to meet you.
Nice
I'm
to meet
going to
you.
remove us from the stream so that just Judy is talking to you, Alex. So she's gonna do her thing, and we're gonna come back in when you're done and kind of talk about it. All right.
Cool, thank you.
All right. Let me.
Hey, Alex.
Hey, how are you?
So, good. Have you ever had a reading before?
A long time ago.
Okay. So you probably heard, I'm just going to take this pencil and run it across the black paper. I'm going to switch the screen in just a second. So that's all you see is the black paper. And in the meantime, as I'm doing that, I'm asking your spirit, the first one the main one that's going to come in, to kind of step in. And I'll describe the bits and pieces of the face, which won't matter much to you because it's not how we usually remember people. But it's kind of just to keep the energy flowing and to point out areas of the face you may want to look at if you need to put it next to a photograph. It's helpful if you ask your person to come in and, if you know who you want to come in, but it doesn't always work that way. It is a little bit like going to a party, and whoever steps in first is who I get. All right.
So do you want me to say the person or just
Nope.
my
Nope.
mind?
You can just, you can
Okay.
put it in your mind. I always have a little trouble switching over my camera, so bear with me just a
No
second
problem.
here. Oh. Okay.
Yeah,
It's not
listen, I'm not technical. Yeah, I need my kids here to do that.
Oh, yeah, I get it. I wish I had it right now because it doesn't want to work. And just, work. There we go. Whew.
All right,
How is
Judy. I was hearing the dead air. I thought I need to come back in and fill some time, but you're good now,
There
right?
was dead air. Sorry. I'm not used to all this technology. We've only been doing Zooms for 2 years. 3 years. Give me just a second here.
Nah, please take your time.
Okay. Actually, I've lost you. Now, hang on one second. Okay. Okay, here comes someone. I might draw them twice. I like to do that these days because it helps clarify details. But there's some little things that look a little bit, identifying here, I'll say. The nose seems really wide at the bottom, and the mouth seems fairly wide. They might have had a mustache. The upper lip area, between the nose and the lip is actually catching a lot of light. So it's hard to tell if it's a mustache or it's just part of their face that's catching a lot of light. They get something at the top of their head that is either a hat or low hairline. And their nose is more of an hourglass than the normal triangle, like narrow at the top, wide at the bottom. I'm going to go right. Oh, they got a little smile. They usually don't smile. So that's kind of cool. And actually, I'm out of focus, aren't I? Okay, that's a little better. Let me just go right below. Still out of focus here. Huh. Okay. So, if you have to look at a photograph, I will say look at the bottom of the nose being that wide nose, the mouth being very wide, and something about that upper lip, either a mustache or it's kind of protruding. And they weren't, I don't think they were young. They feel like a person who had some years on them. And the hair is pretty full. Like they were not bald, either that or they wore a toupee, something thick, or possibly a hat. Their eyes were not small. They were kind of, I see so many eyes, so it's easier for me to talk like almond shaped, which you're not going to remember what their eyes look like. But they had beautiful eyes, and they had kind of a softly curving eyebrow. And I feel like the only thing that's leading me towards being a male is that upper lip. If it was just a protruding area of the skin, I'd say this is a female, because I feel like they have like a very gentle, loving side to them. And I feel like they're very emotionally like connecting, and not that guys don't, of course, I'm sure you do. But for, if you're trying to figure out a gender based on energy, generally women or females come in a little bit softer and with all this kind of connecting energy, and males maybe a little more of the mind. And so this person feels like very connecting. I'd go for mom or grandma if it wasn't for that upper lip. Like I'd have to see a photograph, I guess, to kind of try and explain what's going on there. But does this sound like someone familiar to you so far? Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of weird because my mom's father, I had a connection with him right at this kitchen table not long ago.
Oh, wow. Did you see him or feel him?
Actually, I've had pennies he collected forever, and they were wheat pennies. I don't know if you know what a wheat penny is.
Nope.
It's got the leaves on the back of it. They don't make them anymore. They're kind of old. And I had my phone out, which has the app on it that you can speak, and the word wheat came through my phone.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So the person you're describing is probably my grandfather, which we call Jaji because he was Polish.
Okay. Let me see if I get something from him. Usually I do it kind of while I'm drawing or right after I'm drawing, and I just have to pick up that connection again, see if I can. Oh gosh, he's got such a cool personality. He's not laid back and quiet. He's more like he's very effusive about stepping in here, talking to you, being here with you. I feel like he was a person who had a mind that was interested in things and others, and he wasn't like a passive energy. He's coming in He's very active. So I feel like he's quite active with you, not just the penny, but I bet if you wanted to practice your mediumship skills on him, he'd be a great one because he's got these good communication. As far as any message, he's not giving me anything he thinks you should do differently or more. He just wants you to know he's here, and he's not just here, but he's there a lot with you. He connects with a lot with you. And I feel like it's about stepping into your own abilities, doing your own thing. He's your guy, you know?
That's who I think you connected with there.
Yeah, cool. All right.
Can I ask a question, Alex? What were you talking about? Him being at the table, or
I was given a bag of pennies that he collected, and in that bag were wheat pennies. The old, like from the 60s back, they call them a wheat penny because on the back 2 leaves, and I had my phone out with the app on it, talking, saying, "Is anybody here?" And the word wheat came through, and he was the one who collected them.
That's pretty cool.
Any other feelings besides that, though, and just that one thing
that day, yeah. And to be honest with you, since then, my youngest son was in the basement doing his laundry, and nobody was home. And he said he heard somebody walking down the stairs, which kind of freaked him out. He called us. I heard somebody walking down the stairs. I'm like, well, the equipment's at home. Check it out.
What did you call him? Jaji?
Jaji is Polish for grandpa.
It'd be worth maybe running that recorder and trying to see if Jaji comes through.
But how funny is it how
in English,
quickly
I don't know
he came through?
Polish.
Okay. What'd you say?
Look how quickly he came through. It was like, bam.
Oh yeah, he has a lot of energy. He's out of a scale of 1 to 10, he's up there 7 or 8 as far as wanting to communicate and energy. So
was he like that in life, Alex? Was he like
he
really...
was very well back then. He died in 1982.
Okay.
So tech savvy back then. He worked for it was Bell Atlantic back then or something. So he was into that kind of stuff, like she said, and very caring, very giving, was very interested in everything we did.
a good guy. Such a good guy.
All right, Alex.
Thank you for lending me your person. It was a good one to start with.
Remember, send a $500 check to New Jersey Paranormal. John. Thanks, Alex. Appreciate you doing this.
Guys.
Thank you.
Okay, that's pretty darn good. When you're sketching like that, because I'm sitting here watching and we're, it is hard to, like you said, to figure out sometimes male, female, just based on facial features. How do you, again, try to hone in? Is it an energy thing that you're just trying to figure out? Male, female, older, younger?
Everybody has their process. And for me, male, female is difficult because for some reason, I'm all about the energy and the visual.
Well, you right away assume that females are softer for some reason. That's awfully biased, but that's just my.
I gotta go on something. You got to judge something here.
All right. Okay.
Because this guy is just so soft and warm and
soft.
They say our minds are like spaghetti and guys' minds are like baskets. So that's kind of what I go for. Like how much women seem to have everything connected and men seem to have everything separate.
But it is kind of a feeling thing, right? You're just kind of trying to guide through what you're picking up as far as age and.
Yeah, I get it all by feelings and visuals. Some people will ask or look for symbols. I can't multitask that much between the art and the feelings and maybe someday I'll get that part nailed, but no.
But even when you go into you feel like he's like, let's say a personality trait, outgoing, funny, whatever. Where does that come from? Is that you feeling that? Or is that
so really? If I was sitting in front of you and knowing your personality traits, you just know your personality traits, right?
Yet I'm soft.
I don't expect you to growl or anything. You're good natured.
So
before you go on to the next or talk about the next, I do want to say to everybody that's watching, once this is over, we're going to put up everything where you can contact Judy yourself and get all of this done. She will let us know where she wants you guys to contact her and how to do it and everything. So I just want to say that to all those that are asking on here.
Well, Judy, is it a website? I don't remember. Is it
Yeah, the
your social
easiest way is
media?
through my website, judyhartke.com, because it's got a nice booking button on there, and they can always all the information's there.
And you do them virtually as well as in
Yeah.
person, or just virtually?
No, both. Probably 80% virtually, but I have an office in East Aurora.
Where are you from again?
East Aurora, New York, south of Buffalo,
Okay.
about
Oh, all
20
right.
miles.
Oh, you're way up there, upstate. So
Up in the snow.
yeah. Oh my God, I heard it was snowing today.
Yeah, we got like 5
Up in
inches.
the-
Do you have
Oh
anything?
my God, no! Thank God! Don't even say that. How
So
dare you?
judyharkey.com.
judyhartke.com.
I'll keep putting
judyhartke.com.
that up through the whole thing.
Now, when you do these for anybody that contacts you, what do you recommend? They take the screenshot of the image and then maybe compare that later, or have an actual photo of the person that they're what do you recommend as far as that?
Well, when I do it for someone distance, I will send the pictures and then they can get their own photographs out
Right.
and just compare. So yeah, I always recommend that, because even like I said, my own dad came in and I just wasn't thinking, there's so many people in our world that have passed, and sometimes you just don't know who's going to come in. So getting your photographs out is it's very
Helpful.
impactful when you put a picture
Yeah.
next to it.
See, I just know my nephew is watching. I just noticed he was on. I probably should have had him be part of this. It was my sister who passed and his mom, and maybe some other point we'll do that. The next reading we're going to do is past lives, and this is a little different. Talk about the process as far as this compared to a regular reading.
Okay. This is fun. And John, just by the way, when for most people that do readings, most of us say waiting 6 to 8 months to a year, because there is some kind of
Gotcha.
a transition we go through. So yeah.
Right.
So past life is fun. I love doing past lives because you never know what you're going to get. And so what I do is I just tap into the person sitting in front of me and I ask Spirit to show me a past life, and it's like a snapshot they show me. And so I'll draw it, and usually it has little details. I think the last one we did was a peanut farmer. Do you remember that?
Oh, yeah. Now I remember that one.
Patricia guessed.
Yeah, it was
And she
Patricia.
just planted peanuts or something. So usually
People can be happy in that, right? I guess.
Can't Google that.
And
So
then we had Donna Schultz that was from the Wild West.
I don't remember that one.
No.
Yeah, you did the background with the carriage and all that, and it was pretty cool.
Oh, that's interesting.
I'm thinking Roger might be a peanut farmer too. Roger's a friend of ours. We've known him for a long time. He's the one you're going to be reading. But what is the, again, how do you, what's the difference between picking up on the energy of someone who they were as opposed to who they're trying to connect with?
Well, it's actually two different processes, because what I just did with the person who passed was channel the energy. It just comes right through me out the pencil, like automatic writing, if you've done that before or tried it or heard of it. But with this, I'm actually asking my guides just to show me a picture. So it's like a picture I see in my head, as if you looked at a photograph and then closed your eyes, you'd still have that image. It's just like that. And so the picture usually is correlation to what we're doing or something about this lifetime. It's usually there's a correlation or they wouldn't bring it up. So I'd love to do those. And it provides clarity for people sometimes. It's like, that's why I planted the peanuts, or that's why I like the ocean, or, that's why I like the Wild West, that kind of thing. And in a longer
Connect
reading,
the dots.
Yeah. And it's fun. And short readings is really fun. In longer readings, you can get some really deep stuff out of it.
See, again, that's kind of strange. I think we did the past life thing, you and I think we did that once before, but I'm not sure. But past lives, we're going to do a whole entire thing about that one day. Not real sure about past lives. Again, that's just me personally. Do you believe that do we live an infinite amount of past lives, or is there a number on how many times is there a purpose to it?
I don't think anybody.
In your opinion?
Yeah, in my opinion only, I don't know. But I feel if we're infinite, it must be hundreds and hundreds and thousands. It must be hundreds, at least, if not thousands and thousands. Because infinity is a long, long time. So
again, you never tapped into any of yours for the sake of trying?
Oh, yes, I have.
And?
Yeah. not with drawings, but I've done a lot of like regression work. It was life-changing, amazing.
Could you share any of what you were in some of these lives?
She's a cow tipper.
Maybe, yeah,
I
maybe.
had horses.
She had a horse. So there you go.
I had horses, and I've always had this thing about money. Like, I grew up with some of the old, money's bad kind of stuff, but I had really some deep stuff about money ruining my life, and it never made any sense. So I did this past life regression, and I ended up being this guy in the Netherlands, I think, or I was Dutch, and I had all these amazing, beautiful horses, huge herds of them, and I was a merchant. And the king needed my horses because there was an uprising. So he sent someone out with a gold sword that made me absolutely wealthy, filthy rich, gave me the sword and took all my horses. And I looked up the dates that came in. It was dead on for this uprising in the Netherlands.
Seriously?
Like the 1400s. Yeah. I'm like, oh, that's so interesting.
I thought for sure you were going to say you worked in a slaughterhouse and that's why you were repenting with the cows. That's what I thought you were going to say.
No, I've always been good. We always want to think we've always been good.
Let me see if Roger's there. There he is.
There he is.
Hold on, Roger. There he is.
Hi, Roger. How are you?
Good. How you doing?
Good. Good to see you.
So, Judy, we have known Roger for 100 years or more. Roger's.
We have past lives with Roger.
Yes.
Probably.
Good guy, good friend. And Roger, we are going to leave you in the hands of Judy, and she's going to go through the whole process, and then we'll come on. I've got a feeling I'm going to guess what you were in a past life. I'm trying to tap in on that energy right now. And what do you think? What do you think, Roger?
All I know is that, Roger, I hope you don't have any secrets.
Somebody at work today told me I was going to be a Viking handmaiden.
That's a good one. See, now you're influencing it.
Yeah, don't put anything in my head.
All right. Where did that come from?
I'll definitely get you an address. All right. I just have to switch over my camera, Roger. Good to meet you. Okay, so Roger, have you ever had a reading before?
Not this kind, not a past life, but a reading, yes.
Okay. So give me just a second here. For some reason, my camera does not want to focus. All right. So I'm going to ask Spirit to give me one of your past lives. Give me just a second. Then I'm going to draw it, and then I'll kind of describe it. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay. Interesting. I see you as a soldier. It's not an uncommon thing to see someone as a soldier, someone like you, but I'm going to just see what kind of details come in here. You're kind of standing on this wall looking out over this beautiful scene. Give me just a second here. Okay, so you're standing on this wall, and it's just like a ledge. You're kind of exposed. There's not many people around. It's not like the typical in a crowd of soldiers going to war kind of feeling. This is more beautiful. You were kind of blessed to be able to be up above everyone else and just kind of looking out, and you're watching the sunset out here. I'm not sure what time period, except to say this feels like hundreds of years ago. Maybe, I don't know, maybe 1200, 1300, that type of thing. And I'm going to say it's more maybe France. And I feel like let me just back up a little bit. It's just a little rough sketch. I feel like it's funny. I was talking earlier in the beginning. I don't know if you were here for the beginning of this, but I was talking about going into a farm and seeing the cows and then looking at the light instead of the cows. That's kind of what you're doing. You're a soldier, and I feel like you had gotten to a certain quite high level in the process of being promoted and et cetera, and proving your courage and your worth. And you got to a point you're looking out and you're like, I'm done with this. I want to be done with this. But the only problem is in that lifetime, you don't become done with being a soldier for your emperor or your king or whatever. So I feel like you were sitting there almost in a melancholy kind of way, watching the beauty and kind of trying to appreciate that little piece that you had. But knowing that when the sun was set and your shift was done, you were going to have to go, back to wherever you went and then wake up and be a soldier again. So I feel like this lifetime, you learned how to just kind of keep on going and push through and find like your spirit and your spiritual connection and that beauty in any way, shape, or form you could. Whereas in this lifetime, yeah, we have many choices, but sometimes we just don't. It's a little bit harder to make choices. So you might have found yourself in this lifetime kind of circling around in that kind of lesson of being in something where you wanted to make a shift, but you didn't feel like you could, or maybe you reacted and said, I'm not doing it because I'm not going to get stuck in this forever. But there's something about being stuck in a place you don't want to be and then making choices or not being able to make those choices. I feel like that was the theme of this old lifetime, and that might have been brought forward into this lifetime. And then watching sunsets, sunrises, that might be really important to you. Everyone likes to see them, but some people just love it. And this view is all open rolling hills. If you can think of France, how beautiful the rolling hills can be there, you might find yourself really drawn to like open scene, travel, movement, also camaraderie. With the soldiers, there might be a little bit of a longing in your soul for that kind of camaraderie that most of us don't find in normal life, without being in a military setting or some kind of a setting like that. So does any of that make sense to you, Roger?
Actually, yes.
Oh, good. That's good. Whew.
God, Roger, how accurate was she on all that stuff?
It's actually pretty scary, actually.
Oh, geez. Well, that's good. That's good news for me.
I mean, Roger, could you share a little bit, like, about your weapon? Your background,
Yeah,
or
what you
can
do.
you do that, or can't you do
My
that?
weapon of choice.
Well,
Well, I won't show it on camera, but yeah, no, it's that's interesting because I am a Marine. When I came from Jamaica, I went to high school and I actually joined the Marine Corps right out of high school. I wanted nothing more than to be a Marine, not a soldier, a Marine. There's a difference.
Wow.
Um, and yeah, those sunsets and the rolling hill, I see videos and pictures of countries that I want to go to with wide open areas and just to sit there and just sit and relax and just look at nature and watching the sunset and
Yeah.
sunrise. Not so much. I'm a late sleeper.
I feel like you were in this lifetime. I feel like you revisited the whole thing so that you could experience it at a better level. Like you could make choices and do, you can make choices about your life, where is back then you just had to put up with it because you were in it. Yeah.
It was a simpler time. I remember that.
wow, wow. Well,
It was. I mean, when you think about it, you get up, you don't have to go to work and deal with stupid people. You deal with customers, you deal with this, people driving, traffic. You get up, you grab your gear, you go out, you fight.
That's it, right?
You come home and eat, go to bed, wake up tomorrow and do it all over again.
Yeah. Yep.
wow.
In
That's
this
crazy.
lifetime, you can shift
Sometimes
it.
I feel like that'd be so much easier if I could just do that every day.
Wow, that is crazy. Well, thank you, Roger. We'll be talking to you
All right.
soon enough.
Thanks so much, Judy.
Thank you. It was
All
great
right.
to see you.
Guys, see you later. Bye.
Again, just for you guys watching, Judy had no idea who we were putting on tonight. She never met Alex. She never met Roger.
She comes in blind to
no
these.
clue, which is, I like that she does it that way, because we're telling you 100% that she knows nothing about any of this. I literally go through the messages that I get. We talk about it. Okay, this one, that one. Like Chris was the one who said we've never had two guys on before. Let's have two guys on. But Judy had no clue. And the fact that she hit Roger, and we've known Roger for a while, and I was just like, wow. I mean, right away when she said soldier, I said, she got it.
And even what he does now is based on that. The business that he's in is based on supplying and taking care of.
That's why it was, like I said, you could watch this and think that we set this up, but we did not set this up at all. So I enjoy watching this just as much as you guys do, because, you know, she's doing this live. She could fail miserably and draw Mickey Mouse. She could draw Mickey Mouse on there and be like, hey, you like Mickey Mouse when you were 10, like everybody else? I mean, whatever, you know?
I try not to think of that part.
Yeah, but I think it's really, really, again, we're not going to get too deep down the rabbit hole of past lives, but it is kind of weird if you even allow yourself to believe in that concept, how some of the traits of who we were follow us through every progression of who we are in the next time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think it's. Don't you think we could, like, it's a tool to like, if we're a soldier, Roger was a soldier, he comes in this lifetime, he knows how to do all that.
Right.
So we can go a little bit farther with all of that instead of just learning how to be a soldier again. You know, like the piano players, was it Beethoven, or I can't remember who was, you know, a 7-year-old making these amazing concertos. So yeah, I just feel
it's like an echo in your soul.
Yes. That's beautiful. Wow.
I mean, but I'm sure for some there's kind of tragedy that follows them, and little things, you know, like you said, maybe parents or relationships, good or bad, may progress through, you know, like that same tendency to find those kinds of people throughout the, you know, progression of your past life. Sure. Of course, we can't all give ourselves great stories about selling horses to kings and getting golden staffs. I don't know if I believe that one.
I was always good, and they were always good stories.
I'm sure every past life is a better story.
She'll go through a museum somewhere and say, "Wait a minute, that's my sword."
I'm gonna use that. She probably jots down like movies that she's watching. I owned a chocolate factory too. That was life number 15, I believe.
I don't like your lifetimes.
So yeah, JudyHartke.com. Chris just put it up again. I don't know what you charge for shorter reading. You offer different types of readings, I'm sure.
Yeah. You want me to share, or?
I mean, yeah, if you could just talk about that so they have an idea.
Okay, I appreciate you. It's for 30 minutes, it's $75, and then for an hour, it's $135.
Now, are there different types? Are there the regular reading, like we talked, where you're trying to reach out to a spirit that's coming in, or the past life, or what's the gambit here of the types of readings that you do?
I have enough to confuse people.
Let's.
The spirit art ones were, you know, people that have passed, spirit guide, spirit animal, past lives, and what else? Or just a regular reading without the drawing, because some people just don't need the drawing. It's, you know,
right.
Wasted time to them, but yeah.
Maybe one day we'll do the spirit animal, because that's another one that I find kind of hard to wrap my brain around. But Alex, who you just read, wrote, sitting here talking to my wife, that was definitely my grandfather. A weird calming came through the house. Thank you.
Oh, aw, that's beautiful.
That's pretty cool. I mean, again, we've done this probably 3 or 4 times already. And like I said, she never knows who she's going to be reading. She just does it. And every time we've done it.
I'm blown away.
Yeah.
I want to know, how are we going to get you to the expo? We would love for you to be one of
She's
our
not coming.
guests.
She don't want to come to Jersey.
Please.
She likes being up there in the snow and the cold.
We'll have to chit chat someday, okay? When is your expo?
November 2nd and 3rd.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's a big deal.
And it'll be like 12 feet of snow up there by that time.
Probably. I'll come on skis.
But Judy, again, it was great seeing you again. Great
Thank
talking to you.
You're amazing.
I
Thank
think
you so much.
if you guys are interested in this, it's definitely worth doing to see what you're going to get. And I mean, I would do it if I couldn't get it for free all the time on here with Judy.
That didn't
That's
sound
why
good,
we
but-
set this
We
up.
should. We haven't done anything with you guys since the beginning. One of these days, we should start early.
Should we do a past life again?
Yeah, people. I mean, that seems to be fun.
I would do the past life. I'm not into regular readings because it just, for me, you know, it's just not for me. I don't know about you. You may be different, but for
You wanna
me,
do-
I like the idea of a past life. And I better have a horse gold rod story. I better not get something
Okay,
crappy
a
like
staff,
I was
a rod,
like I
but
was
never a sword.
staple hand in some, crappy English town. Give me a good one. Let's start working
Maybe
on
you'll
that
be
now.
the handmaiden.
Spirit is listening, so you know what you're gonna get. You're
That's
like
probably,
handing
I
out
probably
the
just
cream.
came up with my own thing. I probably just called it. All right, Judy. Good seeing you again. Judy Hartke. You spell it Hartke.
I will do
Hartke.
it again.
We're going to put
Thank
it on
you,
there one
guys.
more time. Judy, great seeing you again. We'll talk to you soon.
You guys are the best. Thanks so much.
Take care.
Bye, Judy.
Bye bye.
So that was Judy again, and we like Judy a lot. And I reached out to Judy, I don't know, about a month ago, maybe. And she said, you must be psychic. I can show you the message. She said, you must be psychic. I jotted your name down, you and Chris. I jotted your names down because I wanted to circle back and touch base with you again and see if you were interested in having me on again and doing the demonstrations. And I love doing it that way because it's one thing to just interview someone about what they do and how they do it. It's another for you and us to see what they do and how they do it. So if you are interested, you go do it.
She's amazing. I have to say, she's one of these ones that she resonates. She sticks with you. I've been working on her to come. She would have to come from very far away, and I understand that's difficult. But my gosh, would we love to have her at the event and expose so many more people. There are a few people you come across this world that resonate and with such good energy and good vibes, and she's always giving such good information to people that I absolutely really have faith in her and believe in what she does. She's amazing.
I like this. And again, I'm not big on the medium reading stuff that much, but I like this one. And I'm going to try to get back on Chia again, who does the aura paintings. I really like that one too, because she actually paints the colors of your aura when she's reading you and then kind of tells you about who you are. I thought that was really interesting too. So I'll work on getting her back on again. Tomorrow we're actually touring a place in Dover, New Jersey. We got to be up there fairly early. There are reportings of activity, stuff they're seeing, stuff they're hearing in this big place. I won't say where it is yet, but we're touring there tomorrow morning, and we're going to check it out. We're going to do a walkthrough. We're going to hear all the stories. I may be able to film that interview because we are going to be investigating it, and they want us to do it live. So looking forward to that. This will be a place we've never been before. We just heard about probably a few weeks ago. So maybe, if we can, we'll live stream from there, or at least we'll talk about it on Friday or whatever. But Sterling Hill Mine is this Saturday. There are 4 tickets available that just came available for that. So why am I doing this? If you're interested, I know it's late notice, Saturday between 7 and 11. If you're interested, email newjerseyparanormal@yahoo.com. You have to spell out New Jersey Paranormal@yahoo.com. Like I said, we have 4 spaces. If you're interested, $55 a person. You'll be with all of us at a haunted mine. And you guys have seen
Terrifying
the videos
mine.
where I posted the fart video today, which may or may not be paranormal. We're still trying to figure that out and debunk it. Nobody knows. But get those tickets if you're interested. Very, very cool at the Sterling Mine. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you either tomorrow during the day or Friday night.
Good night. Be safe. Stay healthy. Please remember to be kind to your fellow man. It's really important.
Bye, guys. We'll see you soon.